In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, one God, to whom all praise is due, the Creator of all things, Revealer of all truth, Sender of all prophets. To Him alone do I submit.
Turn right onto FNB Drive, then turn right onto US 29 South Wards Road.
I thank
At the light, turn right onto US 29 South Wards Road.
and the Torah, or what is called the Old Testament. I thank Him for sending Jesus and the
Continue
gospel.
on US 29 South for 63 miles.
I thank Him for sending Muhammad and the Holy Quran. But if I lived to be 1,000, I don't think I could ever thank God enough for raising up in our midst a divine leader, teacher, and guide who has made the Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran relevant books for an oppressed people here in America and throughout the world. I'm speaking of the man who taught me what I am about to teach you, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum, and this means peace be unto you. I'm very, very happy and honored to be here in Gary once again. I must confess it has been 7 years since I last spoke in Gary. I believe it was 7 years ago. And the time goes so fast. And so many things have happened to Gary and in Gary in the last 7 years. Gary potentially is a great city. But like all of the cities of America, Gary is suffering. We don't come tonight to add to the suffering, but we come to hopefully offer something that can relieve the suffering. The scriptures teach in the book of Hosea, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Ignorance is our worst enemy. And as long as ignorance prevails in our communities, our enemies will always be able to manipulate our ignorance and make us destroyers of ourselves. I want to thank the Reverend Faris Evans and the Park Row Missionary Baptist Church, its membership, deacons, trustees, for the honor and privilege of allowing us to be here tonight to talk to our brothers and sisters here in Gary. Sometimes when our pastors are bold and take a bold step, they're castigated for it by others who don't understand. But for those who would castigate Reverend Faris Evans, I would hope that you would be wise enough to withhold your judgment until after you hear the man that he has permitted in his pulpit. And I'm sure that if you're intelligent enough to not judge before the facts, but after the fact, then you will thank Reverend Paris Evans over and over again for allowing this sacred house to be the host of a sacred message. I want to thank our dear brother minister, Sabir Muhammad, who has been working very hard here in Gary with great opposition to try and get a message of truth to our people. And I want to say to Brother Sabir, we are very grateful to you and your family and to the believers here in Gary for your hard work. I want you to look at this brother and get to know him. For after tonight, you're going to say, boy, I really thank that brother for bringing our brother here to Gary. He's the one that invited me, and it is on his invitation and the strength of his commitment that I came. Let's give him another round of applause. Now remember, we're in the sanctuary, and while we can be happy and it's a place to shout and it's a place to clap, it's not a place to whistle. Okay? Now, I said something is wrong with Gary. I didn't say anything you don't know. We all know that something is wrong with Gary and something is wrong with Chicago and Detroit and Cleveland and New York and Los Angeles. I was down in Mississippi just about a week ago, and there in the cotton field in Greenwood, Mississippi, we were speaking. And in that little area in Greenwood, Mississippi, and Greenville, Mississippi, problems that we have in Gary and Chicago are now in little cities throughout the South. Black people killing one another. One American kills another every 28 minutes. Think about this. One American kills another every 28 minutes. In the last 20 years, homicide in America has doubled and has become a major cause of death in the United States. In 1978, homicide was the 12th leading cause of death in the nation. It was the 4th leading cause of potential years of life lost to persons between the ages of 1 and 64, ranking after unintentional injuries, cancer, and heart disease. However, during the 9-year period, 1970 to 1978, victims of homicide were disproportionately represented by males, by blacks, by Hispanics. 78% of all homicides were men. And now, In 1980, which is 10 years ago, homicide rates for black males in the United States were higher in every category than for any other race or sexual group. Homicide for black men higher than for any other age or sex group or racial group, black men leading the way. Recent studies indicate that in America today, one Caucasian female has one chance in 606 persons of becoming a murder victim. I'm going to say that again. A white female has one chance in 606 of becoming a murder victim. A white male has one chance in 186 of becoming a victim of murder. That means for every 186 whites, one person in that 186 may be murdered. But for the black female, 1 out of every 124 has a chance of being murdered. But the black male has one chance in 29. My God. The black male, count off 29 men in here, and 1 in 29 may not live to die a natural death, but will be murdered, and 95% of all the murders of black men are caused by black men. Now, pastors, political leaders, this is a tragedy that no one is talking about. We are not screaming about what we are doing to one another, but we will put up picket signs and march when a white policeman kills a black man. But when we kill one another, there's no outcry. And every weekend, we are sending young black men to their graves. And over 60% of the crimes that we commit of homicide against each other are drug-related crimes. 13% deal with family squabbles. Suicide is up. And even though we caught heck in slavery, we didn't commit as much suicide under the slave master than we are committing in the cities and ghettos of America. What is happening to black people? What is happening to the black man? That we have now become the #1 rapers, robbers, shooters, beaters, and murderers of ourselves. With churches on every corner. People with signs out saying, Jesus saves. And yet our people are dying right under our feet, under our noses, and we don't have the power to stop it. The condition of black people in America is a witness against the homes. It is a witness against the schools. It is a witness against the churches. It is a witness against the politicians. It says that we all have failed. Because if we have what we think we have of knowledge of the power of God in Scripture, why can't we make a better people? If you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears, we ought to be able to judge an educational system by what it produces. And if we are the product of the American educational system, and over 40 million Americans are considered functionally illiterate, 40 million, and many of those 40 million are us. Over 1 million young people drop out of high school every year, and 25% above the 8th grade level. Ill prepared to do anything in terms of development of self or community. As we look at Gary, a city that was allowed to die because racism was so poisonous and pervasive in Gary that when the black people who lived in Gary decided to vote in a black mayor, the businesses moved out of Gary, formed a new township, took the money away from Gary. Set up Merrillville and other communities, and then the tax base began to erode, and Gary could not deliver the services to the people that it once did because there was no more tax base like it was. The federal government began to cut back aid to the cities. Industry began to close down. And so you got a community full of people that want to work but don't have any jobs. No black man can feel like a man without money in his pocket to take care of his wife and his children. There were 45 murders in Gary throughout the year of 1989. And as of today, in the 7th month of 1990, there have already been 46 murders. It is not that the people just want to kill one another, but there's so much madness and frustration in our community. There's so much hopelessness and despair in our community. Over 60% of the black homes are headed by a woman. But there are children in all these homes which says a man was there at one time. And it has been proved that as jobs decrease, men leave their homes. And it is as proportionate as the job market goes down for black men, more and more homes become headed by black women. Men leave their homes and allow their women to go on welfare. all the major cities in America, not in Gary, there are fine buildings going up in the downtown areas. Travel throughout America, every downtown city is being rebuilt. That's right. That's right. That's a fact. Yes, sir. They say it's creating jobs, but it can't create jobs for 40 million who are functional illiterates. A functional illiterate cannot fit in a high-tech society. Jobs are moving out of the cities into the suburbs, and out of the suburbs, out of this nation, into foreign nations where cheap labor can be used. So the poor man who just wants a job to be able to feed his family, don't mind working hard, can't find those kind of jobs today because those jobs are no longer available in the cities of America. Who is at fault? Can we fix some blame somewhere? Will it mean anything to say who is at fault? We got a problem. Whoever is at fault, we got the problem. And whoever is at fault, if we have the problem, then we have to develop the strategies and the solutions to solve our own problems. We voted out Mayor Hatcher. We voted in a new mayor. Many say he's a good man. Well, you voted for him. So he must have been good for you. You chose him. Now, the poor man wanted to develop a tax base so that he could give to the city the services that you weren't getting. It's not Brother Hatcher's fault. But people vote their stomachs rather than their hearts. That's why Violeta Chamorro is the ruler in Nicaragua and not Daniel Ortega. Daniel Ortega has the heart of the people, but America put so much pressure on the economy of Nicaragua that Nicaragua could not survive economically. Daniel Ortega wanted to get better relationship with America. So America said to Ortega, let's have free and fair elections. And if you do that, we will consider warming up the relationship. And when he agreed to that, they sent millions from America into Nicaragua to buy the election. They weakened the economy, but the people don't know where the real enemy is. They throw the stone, hide their hand, and then the person that's out front got to pay for what somebody else is doing. Now, Mr. Bonds wanted to set up gambling. I think the Bible is against it, and the Quran is against it. But when you don't have any means of giving service to the people, you'll follow any way that will make a way out of no way. So the mayor hitched his car to gambling, and when it fell through, his heart is broken. if there's no money, he can't deliver on the promises that he made. You got a beautiful airport facility out here that should be developed. It will bring revenue into Gary. Steel mills closed down. Poor people that look to the steel mills for their economic salvation. Now, no steel mill in Gary. Steel mill closing down in East Chicago. Jobs leaving the city. And what's left? Young black men looking at their fathers. Fathers trying to collect unemployment. Trying to live off of nothing. Doing little odd jobs. And then a smart, crooked deceiver comes and say, hey man, you don't have to be subjected to this. Here, sell this. It'll ease your pain and the pain of your community. So you got more crack salesmen in the black community than Amway, IBM, Mary Kay, Fuller Brush, Avon. Not because our people want to sell drugs. Our people want money. Because in this world, nobody can make it without money. And if nobody's providing a means of employment, because
I like how he said, in this world, nobody can make it without money. In this world, not in God's world, in this world set up by these damn evil, crooked, wicked ass people, you gotta have money. Yes, no? Damn bastards.
In this world, nobody can make it without money. And if nobody's providing a means of employment for the people, then they will resort to crime. And don't tell the people, thou shalt not steal. When my stomach is hungry, don't read me that law when self-preservation is the first law. Watched each other, waiting for one to die, so they could have something to eat. Don't tell me that you won't eat your brother. If you will eat your brother, if necessity calls for you to do it, then what will you do when you see your mother with no food? Your baby brother and sister with no bread, living in a shack in Gary in the winter time, and there's no heat, and the gas company does not care, and the electric company does not care. Then people get the spirit. If nobody cares, then I'll get me a gun. I don't care either. So you got a whole nation of people that have lost the spirit to care for themselves and to care about their neighbor. It is dog eat dog. This is the plight of Gary. This is the plight of Chicago. This is the plight of Harlem, New York. This is the plight of Washington, D.C. black people feeding on one another, destroying each other, while in the other side of town, white folks living well. They have little problems, but they get service in Merrifield. They have a tax base there. Their garbage is collected. They get police service while you cry out. Your policemen, many of them corrupt, not because they have to be, but it's the way of life in the ghetto now. You pay off the police and you run your drugs. You know this is going on. I read about a drug bust here in Gary. It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever read in my life. And you had the nerve to put that in your newspaper as some big thing that you found. 5 packets of heroin, 5 packets of cocaine, $800 and 2 pistols. What happened to the drugs that you seized? And what happened to the money that you seized? The drugs go right back into circulation, and the money goes into somebody else's pocket. Because drugs is so pervasive today. It buys senators and congressmen. It buys mayors and governors. It buys commissioners and policemen. It buys its way because drugs is the biggest business in the world today. I don't mean to make anybody uneasy. I'm serious. I don't want to make you all uneasy. But let me say this. Brother Farrakhan, don't invite no place if you don't want to hear the truth. Because I don't know nothing to do but to tell the truth. I once heard Malcolm say that if you throw a stone in the midst of a bunch of dogs, the only one that hollers is the one that got hit.
A little sad though, man, because I be paying attention sometimes when I be speaking. Some people they do it anyway, just to, because that's all they got to do is troll and stuff. They ain't got nothing else to do. Like people keep on type. You ain't listen. Some affecting somewhere. You know what I mean? That's just a little viewpoint I throw out from here to there. But word, you see people, I know people would be type, talk. You can't listen, can you? Word. What you yelling for?
So if you're innocent, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're guilty, I'm here to tell you, straighten yourself up. Because a whole community is dying because of corruption. The gross national product of Russia was second only to America, $1.8 trillion. But the drug market internationally is $1.6 trillion, which means that drugs has become a superpower. The drug merchants buy superior weapons. That's right. Point it out. The drug merchants have sophisticated electronic equipment. It's big business. And we are the ones that are paying the price so that a few of us might live better while the rest of us die in misery. This crack cocaine, it is a chemical manufactured. It is manufactured to give pleasure to the pleasure centers of the brain. I used to think, Reverend, that drugs was unnatural. We don't need drugs. We need air, water, milk. We need bread. I didn't know that there's a human need for drugs. What do you mean, Farrakhan? Just wait a minute. There's not just a human want for drugs. There's a human. Go down by the cemetery one night. Walk in, but there's a fence around it. And let some strange sound come up. And you begin to feel threatened. Don't tell me you won't get over that fence in a single bound. If you've ever been frightened, you can run faster when you're frightened. You can fight harder when you're frightened. You can jump higher when you're frightened. Then the next day you go back to the same fence that you got over the night before, but this time you're not frightened and you wonder how I got over. What made you get over? It was that the brain produced the chemicals that gave you that superhuman strength at that moment to do what needed to be done. It is the brain that produces a chemistry that makes you go to sleep. It is the brain that tells you it's time to wake on up. When you're under undue stress and you're receiving pain, it is the brain that produces something like morphine that eases your pain. When you suffer ordinary trauma or shock, like the death of a loved one, and you need comfort, the brain produces what you need. And that's why you survive the loss of mama, the loss of your husband, the loss of your wife, the untimely death of your child. When the trauma hits you, you don't think you can make it one more day, but the brain, that which God created, gives you what you need to go through the trying times. But you know what? That's normal stress. But when you have coming from the outside pressures that are not normal, stress that is not normal, producing shock and trauma that is not normal, you deplete the supply that the brain gives. Then you need an external stimulus. And that's why insanity is going rampant in the black community. All of a sudden, you can't handle it anymore. And you don't know why you can't handle it, but you've depleted your mind of that vital chemistry that keeps the balance. And And so you go to a doctor and he prescribes a medicine, and it is a synthetic representative of the chemical that the brain produces. And then when you ingest that chemical, all of a sudden you can handle things again. And then they tell you, you got to keep taking this medicine for the rest of your life. But something from the outside, and the doctor prescribes, here, take this Valium. It'll calm you right down. I met a doctor one day, and this is no lie. I won't call his name. That doctor is a master of drugs, you hear me? I was on the road, brothers and sisters, and I was teaching every night in a different city. And I came back to Chicago and I went to see this.
And people who don't know, talk will take a whole lot out of you. Talk for 2 hours straight. Talk for an hour straight and see how you feel. Do that every day. Wake up in the morning and talk for an hour straight. If you can, just talk and tell me you won't be tired. Ask me how I know, because I get up every morning and do some talking. My boy, I gotta be like, damn, I ain't gonna flex you, bro. I had to cut back. I was talking for 2 hours. 3 years ago, I was talking for 2 hours. I was doing 2 teachers in the morning. By the time 10, 11 o'clock, I'd be like, yo, what in the world? I think I'm tired as hell. Word. That damn talking, bro. It's gonna take a whole lot out of you. I see I got a cousin named El who talk a whole lot. I wonder if our dude be tired sometimes. Dude talk all day. But he'll take a break. But that talking take a lot out of you. That's the truth right there. Alright.
Doctor. And when I got in his room, I was beat up. He said, brother, he broke off half a pill. Pop. And he said, take this. I trusted my doctor. He gave me some water, and we talked for a few minutes. When I looked in the mirror, I looked young, you know what I mean? Trusted my doctor, broke off half a pill. Pop. And he said, take this. I trusted my doctor. He gave me some water, and we talked for a few minutes. When I looked in the mirror, I looked young, you know what I mean? I said, that's some pill. Make an old man look young. I'm not lying to you. When I looked in the mirror, I knew I looked 15 years younger than when I came in that man's office. He said, Brother Farrakhan, if you're going on the trip, take this with you. I ain't lying. I had a bag. If they had arrested me, I don't know what was that stuff. But that man said, you tired, take this one. But after you finish, you want to go to sleep, you take this one. So I was fired up for that month. What they were is uppers and downers. But I didn't need that stuff. When I got out to California, I was at Stamford, Connecticut. And I realized this thing here was making me an addict. I don't need this kind of stuff. I threw the bag away. When you trust your doctor, the doctor is the person that you say knows. What he was doing was giving me pills that are synthetic representatives of what the body naturally produces if the body is healthy and not used up. What am I saying? I'm saying that there's a need now in America for drugs, because America, more so than any country on earth, is the drug consuming capital of the world. Though America has better roads, better streets, better transportation, better communication, better lifestyle than any country on earth, yet there are more drugs consumed in America than anywhere on earth. Do you know why? In the Quran, it reads, surely the shock of the hour is a grievous thing. The day you see it, every woman giving suck will forget her suckling, and every pregnant one will lay down her burden. And you will see men as drunken, but they will not be drunk. Surely the chastisement of Allah will be severe. What are you saying, Farrakhan? America is under divine chastisement. And the chastisement on America is so great that you are calling for what your body can't produce. Since you lack the faith that would stimulate the brain to produce whatever you needed, when your faith is gone, then you can't produce from your body what you need in the name of God to go through what God is bringing about. Look at this now. So when the shock of the hour comes and loss is coming, loss of power, loss of prestige, loss of jobs, loss of your mind, loss of friends, loss of the ambitions that you dreamed about as a young man, you're disappointed because everything you wanted to see has failed in front of your eyes. In the package store says here, take some Courvoisier. Here's some J&B. Here's a reefer. Here's some coke. And everybody right now is drugged up. That's right. You get on an airplane, you have to pray. You pray normally, you know, but when you look at the pilot, you wonder, is he high? Will I make it to my destination? They say take the bus and leave the truck in the bus. But we have to look at the bus, and the one who wants us to leave the driving to him, we wonder, has he been high? We start on the journey and end up in a ravine. Take Amtrak, end up in a ditch. The engineer high, the pilot high, the preacher high. Oh yes, preacher snorting coke today. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Politicians. It's true. It's true. Judges. That's right. Lawyers. Right. Doctors. Right. Doctors drunk as a hoot owl. Trying to perform an operation. Talk to me, doc. I'm not joking, I'm not playing. Everybody high. Come to Gary, the building stop swaying. So much dope being used. Can you imagine them jumping on Mayor Barry? Right. us join them. Isn't it a shame? Sure it is. I was giving an interview to the Washington Times, and they said to me, Minister Farrakhan, we hear you've been married for 37 years to the same woman, and you have a good reputation, and we want to ask you, as a family man, as a man that has stayed with one woman for 37 years, do you think that a person who is a substance abuser and a womanizer should hold public office? I said, who are you talking about? John Kennedy? Their mouth fell open. They said, no, I meant Mayor Barry. I said, well, let's start with John Kennedy. I said, the members of the press knew the man was having orgies in the White House. Y'all didn't tell that. Y'all knew that Eisenhower had a mistress. You didn't tell that. Y'all knew that Delano Roosevelt had one too, but you didn't tell that. Y'all knew that the presidents, many of them didn't like J. Edgar Hoover, but they never could get rid of him. Because Hoover is a vacuum cleaner, he picked up all the dirt. Hoover had the goods on all the presidents, all the president's men, the leading members of Congress and cabinet, and that's why J. Edgar Hoover was there to serve under more than 6 presidents. Where are those bills? Let us see what y'all white people do. Since you want to show us what Mayor Barry was doing, let us see what you've been doing. And of course, well, brothers and sisters, I'm suggesting with that there's a natural need for drugs. But we don't need to go to a drug man to get it. We need to enrich our lives by developing the faith that only God can give. And when we develop faith, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Faith is substance, and it is the essence of things. You can't produce a thing if you don't have faith. Faith is the substance of the thing that you hope for, but the evidence is not yet in reality. Listen to me good now. People poor, ragged, hungry, naked, and out of doors. You're not poor of money. You're poor in faith. That's what I'm coming to. Listen to me now. Please. Please. What do you mean, Farrakhan? I'm poor in faith. I goes to church every week. And I reads my Bible. Don't tell me nothing about I'm poor in faith. Show me a man with faith. And I'll show you a man with works that bear witness to his faith. If you don't have no works, you can read the Bible all day, read the Quran all day. These books are instructional. These books are wisdom that feed the essence of God within the human being. Don't say you have a Bible and won't read it. Don't say you have a Quran and won't read it. A jackass can have books on his back, but when it gets up the mountain and it's not going to be an intelligent scholar, it's still going to be a jackass because the jackass can't read. I'm not being vulgar. I'm not being vulgar. Jackass is a name for a donkey. I could have said donkey, but jackass was a much more picturesque word. But you all understand what I'm talking about. So having a Bible in your house ain't gonna make you wise. I got it. Where you got it? Up on the shelf in the attic. Got dust on it. That's not gonna help. Where's your Quran? I got it in the house. I put it on the top shelf because we're supposed to respect wisdom. We put it up high and never reach for it. Faith, the substance of things hoped for. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Do you know babies have more faith than we grown-ups? Prove it, Farrakhan. Sure. When that baby is born, the baby cries. That's the baby's first prayer. When the baby cries, it expects to be heard. Was it? Was the baby heard?
In 2 miles, take the exit toward Yanceyville, Chapel Hill.
Somebody changed us. Somebody fed us. Somebody clothed us. Somebody heard our cry. The cry of a baby is its first prayer. It is calling out. Please, I just came out of a bag of water. It was warm in there. This is a strange environment. I'm afraid. Somebody help me in words. And somebody goes and answers that baby's need. The prayer was answered. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Now you put that baby on your breast. Nobody has to teach the baby how.
In a half mile, take the exit toward Yanceyville, Chapel Hill.
To understand, you gotta work your faith. You put that baby on the breast, and there's no milk there yet, mother. But to
take the exit toward Yanceyville.
Baby begin to pull, and after a while, faith, the substance of what it hoped for, the evidence of what was unseen.
Slide left onto the ramp to Yanceyville, then turn left onto Virginia 86 South Main Street. At the stop sign, turn left onto Virginia 86 South Main Street.
The evidence of what was unseen.
Continue for 12 miles.
A drop of liquid comes into the baby's mouth, and faith was rewarded by work with substance. Huh? did that as an infant without knowledge. Instinctively you did that. Now you're a grown man and a grown woman in God's universe, which is his own mammary gland. This is God's gland. But you're in his universe, full of whatever you need to make life livable. It's all above you, beneath you, and around you. How dare you say I'm poor? How dare you say I ain't got nothing? You don't have the faith that would allow you to pull on this universe. And if you pull on it, it'll give you what you want. And can no white man stop what God has ordained? So don't put it on him. You better go look at yourself now, because you're in your own way. Yeah. I want you to hear me. Now, you know, white folk make it awful hard for us. So what? Your problem is you depending on them. And when they fail you, you don't know what to do. Because they've been masquerading as a God beside God. And you went for the okie-doke. You thought they were God. Now you're angry with them because you know they're not God. They never were God. He put a little contraption up and you marvel. Oh, look, it's a Sputnik. Look at it. Isn't he marvelous? He's wonderful, isn't he? Look at that jet plane. Negroes can't do that. I know the white man will give me a job. He's doing everything else for everybody, and I know he's gonna give me a job. Then when he says, I'm sorry, I've given it to Sandy McClellan, my white sister. You said, why, you racist, you. I'm taking you to the anti-discrimination court. That's what I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to organize a picket line. For what? Because a white man is looking out for himself? What's the matter with you that you won't get up and look out for your own self? We can't teach our people to be 1990 beggars. Get up from being a beggar. You are an ancient man and woman. Your fathers were here long before the Caucasian was a thought. Why now do you think you have to depend on them for life? You should be ashamed of yourself. He put up a little contraption and you marvel. Well, marvel at this. You came up out of one and it produced you. Think about that. And before long, it'll claim you back to itself. God has no waste problem, no recycling problems. He recycles everything. You marveling at a Caucasian who got garbage running up and down the Atlantic seaboard because he can't find no place to dump garbage. While God, the master economist, don't waste the feather from a bird. Don't waste the carcass of a spider or an crescent earth, 7,926 miles in diameter, 24,896 miles in circumference. Come on, brother. 57,255,000 square miles of land, 139,685,000 square miles of water. The square mileage of it is 196,940,000 square miles, with a weight of 6 sectillion tons. How much do you weigh? Lightweight? So don't throw your weight around. I'm a heavyweight. Shut up. The earth is a heavyweight, and it's floating in space. It is not upheld by pillars. It is a huge ball floating in space, moving at the speed of 1,037 miles per hour, and you haven't felt a bump. You've been here 1 hour, have gone through space nearly 2,000 miles, and you sitting there and didn't even know you were moving. The ride was so smooth, and you gonna compare 747 to the earth? Nobody creates like God. And he has put it above our head and beneath our feet. There's bounty everywhere. There's no reason for us to be in this condition. So let me bring this to a close. Why are we murdering each other? It is because death permeates our minds. And death of the mind is the death of faith. The mind of us is no longer where it should be, as it should be. The mind of the human being is buried now in his or her flesh. This flesh body has become the grave of our minds. And in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. Why did you say that, Brother Farrakhan? Because God has made a natural relationship between the heavens above and the earth below. And it is the linkage and the relationship of heaven and earth that is giving us life today. Without the light of the heavens, the sun, the moon, and the stars, the earth could not function. But it is the light of the sun that draws the water up from the earth's surface in a fine mist that the naked eye can hardly detect, forming clouds. The sun does that, the moon does that. And as it draws water up from the earth's surface, the water is impure, but the sun pulls it up and purifies it as it pulls it up. And then it forms clouds. And then the wind blows the clouds until it comes over dry, dead earth. And the cloud bursts and water comes down. Seeds already in the earth, so the water causes the seeds to swell. And the light of the sun bearing down on the earth energizes the earth, and the earth goes to work on the seed. The earth don't just lay there and say, "Light me up, baby." The earth works with the light. You didn't hear me? It's a different kind of preaching, I know. is energized by the light of the sun, and the earth works with the seed. The seed swells and bursts and sends a root down, and then sends a shoot up as a witness of the life-giving energy of the sun and the relationship of heaven to earth. So it is with you and me. God created you, brother, with heaven and earth. And these gotta work together for the common good of the whole. But if there's no light in the heaven above, then the earth is without form and void, and darkness is upon the face of the deep. Listen to me, brothers. Brothers and sisters, listen. Your head is the heaven of your body. This head must be lit like the heavens above. That's where the lights are. Sun, moon, and star. Your head must be lit in order for you to be a man. You can't be a man with no heaven. But when the light goes out here, then you become an animal, living in your flesh, for your flesh, by your flesh. Come on. So the mind and spirit of God is buried in the flesh.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto US 158 East.
Of the divine essence of the human being. So the man can never be the man, and the woman can never be the woman until God touches the mind and lights the mind.
At the right, turn left onto US 158 East.
The body then commands the body, energizes the body to follow the law of light. You didn't hear me? Baby, I didn't mean to wake you up. Listen, brothers and sisters, you see this planet? This planet obeys the law of light.
Continue on US 158 East for 1.5 miles.
Causing the earth to spin. It's obeying the light. It's following the light. And as it spins, it's moving, rotating on its axis, revolving, going around the sun. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, sir. In perfect harmony with what? The light. If the light of the sun went out, the motion of the earth would stop. It would begin going astray from its orbit, colliding with other planets. That's the end of everything when the light goes out. The people walked in darkness. Gross darkness, the people. But the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon them hath the light shined. That's the book of Genesis. You know why it's Genesis?
In half a mile, slight left.
Book of Moses. Now you know why I thank Allah for my teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. See, you can tell that the man had a good teacher if he's a good student.
Slight left, then slight left onto US 158 East.
I'm a witness bearer that I have an excellent teacher. And I want you to know the teacher. Come on. And I want you to...
Slight left onto US 158 East.
That we all may grow in wisdom, because the destruction of ignorance is our salvation.
Continue on US 158 East for 1.5 miles.
The first book of Moses is called Genesis. In the word Genesis, you get the word gene. And in the word gene is the secret coding of the person. It's called the genetic makeup, right? What is in your coding, the genes of you, is your past your present, and your future. The genetic makeup of the person is three-dimensional. Every human being is past, present, and future. Every human being. When you know the past energizes the present prepares for the future. It's all in the genetic makeup of the individual. So the first book of the Bible is called Genesis because it's pointing to the beginning. And everything that's in the beginning, you find it also in the ending. So Revelation is an enlargement.
In half a mile, continue straight onto North Carolina 86 South.
There's some preachers in the house. I want to just... Everybody all right? Yes, sir. Let's go a little deeper than we can go home. Gary, I ain't been here in 7 years. Lord,
Continue straight onto North Carolina 86 South.
And I'm just across the world. I got to come back here again right away.
Continue on North Carolina 86 South for 24 miles.
Gary, bear with me just a few more minutes, Gary, okay? Y'all all right? Yes, sir. Okay, let's look at this Genesis to show you how Scripture is beautiful. It's not hard, it's not difficult, it's not just for scholars, it's for all of us. But when it's opened up to us, you know, the Scripture says that in that day, he would make it so plain that a fool would find it hard to err or make a mistake. And you know it's got to be made plain for us, because I think we the foolish people that the Scripture is talking about. But anyway. Why is Genesis the first book of Moses? Moses is talking about the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. Fine. Why are you telling that to your people, Moses? I'm trying to get my people to see who are enslaved, how the beginning was, so they'll know how their beginning is. I want them to understand the relationship between heaven and earth. Darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the earth was without form and void. When you're a slave and you have no light in your mind, no knowledge, you are without form and void because darkness is upon the face of the deep. Listen good now. All of us as a people are like a check that is voided. Have you ever received a voided check? What can you do with it? You can't deposit it. It's voided. It has no power. It has no value. That's the way black people are. Like a voided check. You're without form and void because darkness upon the face of the deep. Human family, including the Caucasian. But more importantly, more relevantly to black people who are enslaved by the powers of white people. Yes, sir. And in your enslavement, they have voided you. And that's what you are, avoided you. It has no form and void. And when people look at black people, we'll move out of town. They ain't gonna do nothing. So they move out and let the town die. And you ain't got the power to make it live. Because you void. You all left here crying. They moved everything out to Maryville. They left empty stores right down on Main Street, Broadway. But why don't you go in the stores? You business. Right. Who, me? I can't do business. void. Void of what? A cancel check. Nobody pays you any attention. Your check that's voided. They don't pay no attention to your cry in Gary or the black people in Gary crying. Well, let them cry. The black people in Chicago are crying. Hey, I didn't hear nothing. Until God produces a heaven to work with the earth. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face. His throne of power is ever on water. That's water stands for the masses of people. When God's Spirit begins to move on the face of the waters, meaning God begins to energize the people by His Spirit, then God said, let there be light, and there was light. He brings light right up out of darkness. He's creating a heaven for you. He just wants you to relate to the heaven so that you won't be without form and void. Isn't that something? God had not appointed one. That's just a name. I am the light of the world. Then He becomes the... Check this out. If He ascends into heaven and He said to you, I am the light of the world, then He becomes the sunlight of your life. This we move, we live, have our being. What do you mean? He's like the sunlight to me, because without the light from Jesus, I can't move. I can't come into existence and have my being. I'll never know who I am until the light of Jesus touches me. Listen now. Well, I thought you was a Muslim. That's just name. It means one who submits to do the will of God. I'm speaking the language that Christians are familiar with. See, Jesus says in the Quran, I am the light of the world. In the Bible, in the Quran, Muhammad is called a light-giving sun. Muhammad was to the Arabs as Jesus was to the Jews. Muhammad was raised up from the Arabs and became a light for the Arabs. And when the Arabs took the light of Muhammad, they were formless. And then they formed from tribes into a nation and became a nation of light. Huh? Yes, sir. So as a Christian, we were without form and void. And God raised a man from among us and filled him with knowledge. And once that knowledge began to strike us and we began to respond to that knowledge, our lives began to change. Yes, sir. And that's the sign that you are no longer dead. The heavens and the earth are working together. So I would like to close this by saying to you that black people will never come up out of this condition on our own. God is going to have to help us come up out of this. When God intervenes in our affairs, you know how you...
That's 100% right there. This something that's so simple that it shows how messed up the people is. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad wrote a simple thing that could put black people on top overnight. Overnight, my boy. What's the key to this? They gotta work together. If I'm quite sure it's over 30 million black people in America. I'm quite sure. 30 million, that should be an easy number. It's probably way more than that. 30 million black people in America. If everybody put in $1, we are instantly 30 millionaires. All of us. Homeless people got $1. They can come. Word, every city we in. Word. So we got 10, 20,000 people each little city. You know what I mean? Word. All of us buy a big facility that can hold all these people. Get the land. You can keep putting stuff on the land. You ain't got to keep paying rent. We ain't gonna pay rent. Nah, forget that crap. As far as paying individual rent, man, we coming together. Word. We gotta work together. You gotta thug it out for a little while. That's word. If you thinking this way, man, people come together overnight, bro. I'm telling you. Especially if y'all working, you got people who work. Some of y'all might make like 1,000 a week. That's okay. A lot of people don't do that. You might make like 600 a week or something. But I'm gonna say like 1,000. Like if it's like okay, 1,000 a week. That's you're not a millionaire for that. It's people who I know who got jobs over. They make like 4,000 a week, bro. You know what I mean? Like, word, they doing really good. Must making a week. I might bring in the month. Like, damn, you know what I mean? But I'm basic 1,000 a week. That's 4,000 a month. If you got 20 people making 4,000 a month, you do the math. What's 20 times 4? That's $80,000. Hold on. 4,000 times 20. 4,000 times 20. I know I ain't tripping. 4,000 times 20. Yeah, it's $80,000, my boy. Word. I know you can put 20 people in the home. You got $80,000 between 20 people. You tell them you can't buy a big enough home with 20 people? Word. You take off $10,000 a month between 20 people. You got extra 70K to play with between 20 of y'all. What's 70K times 12? Where you getting 70K from? I thought you said 80,000. You take out 10,000 every month between rent and food. All right, that should be over than what y'all need. All right, you got 70,000. 70,000 times 12. That's 840,000 between the 20 of y'all. Between 20 people. I'm sure it's over 20 of y'all that make like $1,000 a week. Word, bro. It's simple math. Between 20 people, nigga, you word. You know what I mean? Word. It's real simple, but messing with these people, it take God's help.
Gonna know it?
People don't listen.
Because it's like the sun raises a cloud and purifies it, and the wind blows it over a dry dead, and water descends and vegetation begins to grow. When God intervenes in our life, He's gonna raise people right from your midst. People that are just like you. But when God raises them, He begins to purify them as He raises them up. They're dirty when He calls them. But He calls them and they start coming to Him. His light begins to purify them. And as He purifies them, He begins to fill them with His life-giving wisdom. And then when they break it over the people respond. And change comes about in the life of the people because they're responding to light. And as light vanishes darkness, knowledge vanishes ignorance. So you and I need somebody like that. The scripture says, how can they know except they have a teacher? And how can they have a teacher except he be sent? And I respectfully say, white folks will not send you a teacher to teach you, to bring you out from under their power. It has to be God sending you one. And when God sends you one, he'll be a man like Moses. And he will tell you in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Why are you telling me that, modern Moses? Because you don't have a beginning until the heaven is lit and you're responding to the light that has come to your mind. You that are masons, shriners, some of you are. The man that got hit in the head, carried on a westerly course, buried in the north corner in a shallow grave, where there was no light. He stayed in that grave until one with the master grip came. And when the one with the master grip came, he pulled him up out of that grave. And he lived again. Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. If you believe in me, though you are dead, yet shall you live. It ain't got nothing to do with cemeteries. Them that are in that cemetery, it be long time. Now you keep going out there looking at it. They're not going to get up from that, brother and sister. But it's you in the grave of ignorance. You and I can get up from our condition. I am the resurrection and the life, he said. If you believe in me, though you are dead, yet shall you live. Why are you saying that, Jesus? Because I have the master grip. And if I touch you, and you hold on to me, I will pull you up out of your grave. And the old condition that you once were in, you won't be in it anymore. And you'll be able after a while to look back at your condition and say, oh grave, where's your victory? Oh death, where's your sting? The reason you were called Negro is because white folks knew they put you to death. That's what Negro means. One dead, lifeless, neutral, no light in the heaven. And everybody that meets you knows that you're dead. We walk in your community, we say, this is the cemetery. Nothing changes in the cemetery. From one year to another, here you are holding up the corner. 10 years later, you still there. That's a graveyard out there, brother and sister. Go ahead. And you are the dead in the cemetery. I know you're Cadillac driving, Mercedes-Benz driving, alligator shoe wearing, Gucci bag wearing, diamond ring wearing, but you're dead. From the neck up, messed up. God has to send us a teacher. And when he does, he will produce our Genesis. I think that's why they call that center down there the Genesis Center. Because they knew that Gary needed a rebirth. They knew that Gary needed a new heaven and a new earth, that the former things may pass away. Now, beloved, you that are here tonight, you have a responsibility. When you are raised in knowledge, you have to raise somebody else. When you are raised in knowledge, you have to act according to the knowledge that you have received. Now, I want to leave you with this thought. I see a house full of young women in here tonight. There'll be no Genesis for us without a good, strong woman. There'll be no Genesis for us as men until men return to God. Until we come back to God, a woman can never find peace in us. Hear me now, I'm closing on this point. I want you to listen. Our women are suffering because there are no men. Not that we men don't have the potential to be everything that our women need and want. But until man comes back to God, that God may make man all over again, because man has been reduced to with us and for us from the time we've been in slavery. And they're holding on, hoping that we will come to ourselves and be the man that we should be. Our women are not as messed up in the head. We are. They're messed up. Listen, sisters. They're more educated. They'll find this enemy quicker than the man. We want to talk peace, woman ready to fight. She's something else. But she's alone through these ears, which are like the nostrils that inhale the breath of life. These ears.
At the light, turn left onto US 70 East.
So the scripture says, him that hath ears, let him hear. Because the ear is going to be the instrument of your salvation or your damnation. Listen. Let's listen. I'm almost finished. Just bear with me now. I'm just getting right to the end. Man. Listen. After he's made.
Continue on US 70 East for 6 miles.
What are the commands? God gave him first dominion over what? The fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and every creeping thing that crawls. Brother man, that ain't just written in a book. That's written in the genetic makeup of the male. No male is a man without dominion. Dominion is the capacity to rule. You can't be a man and can't rule nothing. Right. If you're not ruling something, you are not being what God made you to be. Therefore, there's more stress on you because you're other than yourself. Listen, a man got to be in a position of power. That's the nature of a man. He must have the power to rule. Now look, brothers, that's what women love. That's right. Women don't want no powerless man. Sisters, I hope I'm not disturbing. Women are not adulteresses. They'll commit adultery not because they want to. They commit adultery because we have not fulfilled their needs. Listen now, sisters. If I hit the right chord, let the church say amen. Just a couple more points, because I want us to understand each other. That's how you make peace. Women, when they find a man who is filled with the Spirit of God, knowledge, wisdom, the exercise of power and dominion in a just way. That kind of man is attractive to every woman. True. He can be ugly. She can live with his ugliness. Just have some dominion, brother. Have some power, brother. Have some knowledge, brother. And I don't care if your face look like 10 miles of bad road. I'll travel down that bumpy road because I know it leads to heaven. As long as I got a man like that. And you could be handsome, pretty, Lord, so pretty that all the women love you at first. But at first means that you hit first base. You got to get home, baby. And you can be handsome as all get out. Just don't work. Just don't have any money. And just exhibit that you don't have any sense. Out. It's true. Any of us that got a woman today, we're lucky. If she sticks with us in our condition. We're really lucky, brothers. This is no joke. Because none of us are what we should be. That's right, that's right. We are on our way. That's why we ask y'all be patient. Don't short stop us yet. Be patient. Now, dear brothers, every man needs comfort, consoling, quiet of mind to build up strength to go on and do God's work. God has ordered man, multiply, replenish the earth, and subdue it. That ain't written in the Bible. That order is written in your genetic makeup. And if we're not doing it, brother, we are under tremendous pressure. What is the pressure? Multiply. Well, I'm glad you said that, God. I've been wanting to multiply. No. That's your problem. You have taken it in its base meaning. Certainly it means have children. But that's not the real multiplication. What is the real multiplication? Here's a man, multiplier. Woman, multiplicand. Here's the child, product. That's multiplication. But now, here's the man. God gave him all he needs. Put him in the world. Now he's got heaven above him, earth beneath him, truth all around him. Here's the man, multiplier, times, universe, multiplicand. Come on. Now you produce your product. Every man by nature has to be a producer or he's not a man. And look here, brother. Come on. Anytime we let white people produce jobs for us and we don't produce them for ourselves, he's the man in our house. Anytime, listen to me good. Anytime he got to do it all and we don't sit down and map out strategy and produce our needs, then he who's the producer is the man. And that's why we nickname white people the man. The
1,000 feet, use the left lane to take the US 70 I-85 ramp.
Hey, baby!
Use the left lane to take the US 70 ramp, then merge onto I-85 North.
What's that? Well, that's the place where babies live, where babies play, and get out of the hair of mama, out of the hair of the man. So
Continue on I-85 North for 2 miles.
With all the little playthings that you need. Here's a bottle of scotch. Here's your Coke. I'm gonna strip your woman down, play with her. Give them your hi-fi and your music and rap on, baby. With your crib mentality. And after you get finished playing, white folk will have built a whole world. Get up out that crib, man. And stop crying like a baby. And let's come back to God and let him make a man out of us. And let us do that which will capture the heart of our women again. And let it be a genesis for us all. May God bless you. May God keep you. I thank you so much for the privilege of being here in Gary. And I hope that God will bless me to be able to come back to Gary again.
In half a mile, keep left to stay on I-85 North. Follow signs for Durham, Petersburg.
Good people in Gary. Too many powerful minds in Gary for Gary to continue to go down rather than go up.
Keep left to stay on I-85 North.
Assalamu alaikum.
Continue on I-85 North for 6 miles.